Hi, I'm Misasu. I'm an English teacher, and this is my presentation on how to not quit studying or learning anything. Um, so, the reason I'm doing this presentation is because I've been dealing with a lot of depression lately, which kind of is like that very dread feeling of like wanting to quit everything, like even life itself in some way. So yeah, this is not like, obviously there's a lot of factors that can tamper with your learning. Maybe you don't have enough time, or maybe you just lost interest on whatever you were doing. That's totally fine, right? But this presentation will focus on, I want to do this, but I got frustrated, whatever. So how do I keep at it? How do I resume it, or how do I avoid those like frustration, those negative feelings that I feel while doing this. So usually, for a lot of skills in life, usually society will perceive it in two ways, like in a binary way, so to say. So for many people, you either don't know a skill or you do. And that's kind of a toxic approach, in my opinion. I mean, there's nothing wrong with saying, yes, I play the guitar, no, I don't play the violin, whatever. There's nothing wrong with saying that, but you shouldn't let it get to you. You should more you should try to think of it more as a spectrum, so to say, of like, well, I know, you every day you learn something new. So like, maybe some, I don't know, some Russian, and then the next day you will know a bit more, and then a bit more, and so on. So it's like, if you're stuck here, you think like your mind is stuck here. Maybe like, no, I don't know how to code. But if you put effort into it, then you do know how to code. It's a spectrum. You never fully, like, when it comes to languages, especially, you might feel pressure to be like, yes, I know 5 languages or 10 languages or whatever, right? And that's kind of I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, if you want to learn as many languages as you want to, that's a perfect thing to do. That's like super commendable. But you should think of it as more like, I just, you never fully learn something. You can always keep on learning, whether it's on your own or with a teacher or whatever. There's plenty of ways of learning and teaching, either on your own or with others. But yeah, it would be nicer if, instead of saying I want to get here, if instead of saying I want to get here to the end of this, you should try to kind of enjoy the process. Like, if you have your goals here to like learn more and more, as long as you have fun in the process, you're gonna get there eventually. As long as you keep on learning and keep on having fun and don't feel frustrated, you should kind of like, let's say that this is you today, and tomorrow this is you yesterday, for example, right? And today you put effort into something. It doesn't matter if you feel like you have learned or not. For example, maybe you're learning a language, right? And you write down like 100 new words, and maybe you don't recall any of those words consciously, but if you put effort into trying to learn them, put them into sentences, etc., trying to incorporate them, so to say, you are going to be, at the end of the day, like a little bit, how do I disable snapping here? You are going to be, at the end of the day, a little bit more knowledgeable than you were the day before. So you should kind of like appreciate that progress, and yeah, just day by day, little by little, and try to like aim towards this. You should like aim towards being more and more knowledgeable, or learning a skill more and more, if that's your goal. But you should never try to think of the end point. You should try to think of like an aim, and not an actual like specific goal. This is the final. Yeah. Well, we have talked about this already. You don't necessarily. I mean, sometimes you want to be more and more knowledgeable, or sometimes you might want to just have fun, and that's totally valid. But even if fun in itself is not your goal, because sometimes like I would be super frustrated at something, right? Whether it is learning a language or learning, I don't know, coding, drawing, whatever. And some people would tell me like, hey, just have fun. Like if you have fun, that's what matters. And I would be like, no, I don't want to have fun. It's not my goal. But what I wasn't understanding like all along, or maybe I was seeing it, but I refused to kind of like acknowledge it and admit it, is that fun is necessary for this, to traverse this path of knowledge. Like maybe sometimes you won't have fun. Like for some of this road, like for some of this journey, some bits might not be fun. Like maybe this little bit here is not fun, whatever, this little bit. So yeah, and that's where like discipline comes in and whatnot. But even then, like even if some tasks are not fun, you should have fun like in general, or kind of try to make it like a little entertaining at least, or a little amusing for yourself. If you can do that, you will definitely try to have fun, as to view that learning experience as something positive. You have to like feel positive towards it. There's a lot of teachers that focus a lot on this, more than even the learning process itself. A lot of teachers try to focus on you having fun, because if you have fun and you try to learn as well, you will improve eventually. Because if you stop having fun altogether, entirely, you will get stuck or even go backwards. But well, yeah, that's about it. It's a very complex topic. I didn't know how to explain it. I hope it's kind of clear and helpful. Maybe it was a bit of a messy explanation, but I hope you got something out of it. And yeah, if anything, let me know. Bye.